Today on Dusty Vision Radio, we are going to talk about Ice-T. Ice-T's had an amazing career. He's one of those guys that I would guess most rappers coming into the game at one point wanted to be like. And what I mean by that is he wasn't just a rapper. He wore many hats. And he's someone who is still making money to this day. Let me think. When's the first time I discovered Ice-T? It would have to be in the BREAKIN movie. Classic movie. You guys remember BREAKIN, right? BREAKIN 1 and BREAKIN 2, Electric Boogaloo. With Ozone and Turbo.
BREAKIN, and you just don't stop. Here comes the movie that's fresh and hot.
You have to remember that if you're at least in your 40s. Everyone wanted to be either Ozone or Turbo. I loved Turbo's moves. Turbo to this day, aka Boogaloo Shrimp, Michael Chambers, his real name, was an amazing dancer. So much so, he helped people like Michael Jackson perfect their moves, mainly the moonwalk. So how did you influence the moonwalk, or what was your part in Michael Jackson's moonwalk?
Well, goes back to 1983. Lionel Richie hired me and Popping Taco, Bruno Falcon, for his video All Night Long. While we did that video, we were on the All Night Long tour. Within that 9 months, Lionel Richie was writing, "We are the world, we are the children." At the end of the tour, I remember backstage, there he was incognito. He was just like on the down low. He had this
Michael Jackson
was out there, Universal Amphitheater. He had an afro, he had his hat. He looked like the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz. The thing is, he was there in the audience and me and Bruno were looking at each other and he's like, shh. We're like, he's like, backstage. So we went backstage. He's like, oh, we need to work out. So that was the day when we were released from our tour. That was the day that Popping Taco, he worked out with Michael for choreography and showed him, you know, those really cool routines for Captain EO. You know, if you look, the popping in Captain EO was a whole number. Michael didn't solo that much. He just kind of like, you know, on a chain in the world. Woo! Captain EO was kind of big, right? Thing is, and then in Smooth Criminal, that was a serious popping number. Bruno Falcon was a choreographer of popping. So Michael was able to get routines with him. But when it came to me, Michael was like, let's just do this again. So the thing is, him and I had like a one-on-one. Right after the Motown 25, I got a chance to work with Michael on one session, and this is how brilliant this guy was. We had one session, and it wasn't really that long, but he videotaped it. And the thing is, I was doing stuff, but he didn't really want any popping. He was looking at my feet. And back then, he had already did the backslide, not the moonwalk, but he had the backslide on Motown where he went back. He didn't know how to moonwalk. But the thing is, I had a backslide combo into a circular kind of flow. And I was like, I mean, if you look at my feet, I was like all over the place. So he's like, please do it again. Just do it again. So the wonderful thing is, if you go on YouTube and you look up the Victory Tour Billie Jean live performance at Dodger Stadium, that's when you can actually see what came out of that lesson.
First time I saw Ice-T was in BREAKIN. The battle scenes, whenever they would go to Club Radiotron, which was a real place, by the way, in Los Angeles. It was just called Club Radio. It wasn't Radiotron, from what I understand. I have a very awesome interview with Michael Chambers, a.k.a. Boogaloo Shrimp, a.k.a. Turbo, from the movie BREAKIN. If you love Rural West Coast hip-hop, I'm going to post that link in the description so you can check that out after this show. If you love the movie BREAKIN, he breaks it down really, really nice. But Ice-T and his DJ, Chris the Glove, who is a legend, has produced so much music. He helped Dr. Dre when Dr. Dre left Death Row. He produced the likes of Nas, AZ, Foxy Brown, The Firm. You guys remember that album? It was considered a flop, but I think it was still dope. But Chris the Glove Taylor was Ice-T's DJ, and Ice-T was rapping. Ice-T had the typical breaking attire, you know, the breaking, the hats, you know, he had the tight, weird 80s breaking clothes, colorful bandanas, all that stuff. This was before he was the quote gangster rapper that we would go on to know him as. But he was rocking the clothes that everyone rocked at that time. I myself thought what they wore back in the day when I was watching this, I thought it was so cool. I was like, oh my God, I wish I had all those clothes. Then I look back and I watched the movie. I'm like, yeah, we were dressing effing ridiculous. But it was dope. It was dope. But Ice-T was in that movie, and that's the first time I ever got a glimpse of Ice-T, right? I think because 6 in the Morning came out after this. The classic, the infamous 6 in the Morning, which is definitely the first West Coast gangster rap song. But a lot of people, and I think Ice-T has even give respects to, is it Schoolie D? Philadelphia rapper who is, by most and many accounts, the first gangster rapper releasing the first gangster song. But 6 in the Morning shortly after that. And that beat is just beautiful. 6 in the morning, police at my door.
Fresh Adidas squeak across the bathroom floor.
But DJ Unknown is the one who produced this. You produced 6 in the Morning, Ice-T, 6 in the Morning?
Yes, sir. That was kind of wild. We was working with Ice already. We had done, I think that's where we, You Don't Quit, Dog in the Wax. We went by the apartment. Ice had like Uzis hanging on the wall. First one I ever saw, like a real Uzi, like just hanging on the wall. Ice was wild back in the day. Where people don't like, if he really, Ice tells stories, but I don't think he could tell them all because Ice was wild back in the day. But he kind of talked about like the song, and he wanted like the kind of sound he wanted for it and stuff like that. And at that time, we had like, I want to say it was an MG 1212, and we had an Ensonic, I forgot what it was, Ensonic something, Mirage, right? It was Ensonic Mirage, and maybe an SP12 that had a whopping 4 seconds worth of sampling time or something like that. And the house, that was actually cut at a house on Everett Street in Compton.
Daryl Davis' house.
Right, at Daryl Davis's house. That's where we had the studio, and he and Evil E came over, and that was one of them B-side wins again things, because that was not the A-side. And you know, Ice when Ice was this consummate professional. Like, he was like a one take type of guy. I used to get on the mic and just drop it like with so much energy and so much fire. You know, we put it out, and you know, we were looking for a little bit of buzz. But a funny story is, right about that time, my you know, I'm from Detroit, right? And my grandma had she had taken ill, right? So I went back, I had flown back to Detroit. When I got there, now imagine you rolling up on the block that you grew up on, right? And rap is so still like real kind of like, it ain't huge by no stretch of the imagination yet. It's you know, it's doing things, but it ain't really huge. And especially, you know, stuff that we're doing out here. And I pull up, I had to rent a car, pull up on the block. And when I got out of the car, I hear 6 in the morning playing, right? I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is like, there's no rap on the radio, first of all. Like, that just ain't a thing that's happening nowhere. And maybe, I don't even know if it was like New York, maybe Mix Show or stuff like that. But kids across the street was playing 6 in the morning. Blew my mind. I couldn't believe that record had made it to Detroit.
I'm actually going to post a link to DJ Unknown as well. He has an amazing story, guys. If you don't know the DJ Unknown story, you really need to do your Googles on West Coast hip hop. DJ Unknown is responsible for so much stuff, and he was one of the ones. He is the one responsible for 6 in the Morning by Ice-T. Now, this song blew the streets up. I mean, this song was every car, every Suzuki Samurai was bumping this song, and the beat was pretty basic. No disrespect, but it was really basic, but it was still hard. It was hard. Like, pause. But it was a really good beat. It is a good beat to this day.
The version that we did, not the version that's like on the on Ice's album, like that incredible album, because like when they got the deal over at Sire Records, you know, they were of the idea that you had to have a New York producer in order for the music to be, you know, accepted by the people in New York.
And I guess that's when most of the world got introduced to this Ice-T that we know. Now, I'm going to be honest. 6 in the Morning, I didn't really listen to that song until maybe a year or two after it came out. I don't think I heard it as it was playing on the radio or as it was playing in the Jeeps and things like that, bumping down the street. But it was one of the first songs, hip-hop songs, that I remember listening to. So it had to be shortly after it was released. Maybe 87-ish is when I started to, you know, to really understand 6 in the Morning and actually heard it on the radio and things like that. And I would record it on my tape. You remember back in the day when, I don't know if you kids cover your ears right now because you have no idea what I'm about to talk about. But back in the day, we would record songs off the radio, right? You have your double tape deck, and then you put your blank tape in there, and you hit record and play, hold it down at the same time, and then you end up recording the song on the radio. And as soon as the commercial comes on, you press stop, and you're boom, oh, got it, yeah. And then that's how you made mixtapes, and that's how I got all my hoes. I would make them mixtapes back in the day. Find out what music they like, and then I would spend like a week listening to the radio, and then I would just record every time a song comes on that I know she would like. I would record it, boom, and then I give her the mixtape, and she'd be like, "Oh my God, let me give you a hand job in the bathroom. You're so nice." I got so much tail by writing girls' songs. I even wrote Bone Thugs and Harmony. There was a chick that liked Bone Thugs and Harmony. She loved Bone Thugs and Harmony, but she was like, "I can't understand what they're saying. And I'm gonna miss Uncle Charlie." I was like, "What is he saying? Oh my God, I will so give you a hand job if you write the lyrics." She didn't say that, but me writing Bone Thugs and Harmony lyrics for her led to me getting a hand job, is all I'm saying. You kids don't know about this nowadays because you listen to your Spotify's and your iTunes and everything has lyrics now, and you can just read everything. Nah, man, we didn't know what the lyrics were back then. When Bone Thugs and Harmony were rapping, we were like, what the hell are these guys saying? But I love it. But Ice-T was one of the first ones that I would have thrown on a mixtape back in the day. It was a huge song all over the country. And this was, quote, the introduction to gangster rap. And it meant more because, not taking anything away from Schoolie D, this was the introduction to gangster rap because it came from Los Angeles, which at that time, ladies and gentlemen, was the home, was the mecca of gangster shit. I mean, we were what the country was talking about. This war that's going on in Los Angeles over colors, red and blue. Why are they doing this to each other? They're taking each other's lives over colors. And then it was just one of those things that took over the country. Then slowly Bloods and Crips started going all over the country, and a lot of people blame it on early songs like 6 in the Morning, early groups like NWA. Just is what it is. Good, bad, and different. It just is what it is. But that was a whole new genre of, oh my God, he's talking about stuff that I see every day in my neighborhood. Wait, hold on. This guy's talking about stuff I see every day in my neighborhood. I run from the cops. I forgot to get my old school tape while I was rocking my Adidas, and I had to run out the bathroom door. You know, like, this is stuff that people are like, oh, wow, okay. And from what I understand is, the way Ice-T came to 6 in the Morning was he was doing his raps in the hood, you know, his Reckless and all this about DJing and breakdancing and that type of scene and stuff like that. But either he or his homeboys came to him and said, man, you should start rapping about what you see in the neighborhoods.
I was trying to be a rapper. I was rapping like Mel and them. You know, I'm wearing spikes and shit. You know, I thought, you know, this is what you got to do. And I'm trying to get in. You know, there's nobody in LA to look at. I'm saying these rhymes to my boys. I'm saying that gangster shit. You know, strolling through the city, middle of the night, niggas on my left, niggas on my right, yelling, cut, rip. To everybody I see, if you bad enough, come fuck with me. So I'm saying these kind of rhymes for the gangs. But I was like, that's negative shit. Like, people don't want to hear that. So I'm saying certain raps to entertain my friends. And then I'm saying party rhymes for hip hop. So then I hear PSK. And it blew my mind.
Next time I heard about Ice-T, because I wasn't really a big fan. I liked 6 in the Morning. Then I heard his other stuff, and I was just like, I wasn't really feeling. Keep in mind, I was 9, 10, so I was more on NWA. I was bumping NWA, and I was like really listening to what they were saying. But in 1988, I do believe it was 88, 87, 88, a movie by the name of Colors came out. And ladies and gentlemen, that movie changed everything. Changed the world. Literally, when I say change the world, I mean it. Colors changed the world.
Hey, blood.
The gangs rule the streets. The streets are at war. The war must be stopped. Sean Penn, Robert Duvall, in a Dennis Hopper film, Colors.
So many people I've spoken with in my personal life and in business while interviewing them and things like that told me their introduction to C's and B's was through Colors. Wait, this is what they're doing in Los Angeles? Colors was a big deal. And who had the biggest song on the soundtrack? Ice-T.
What's that verse that goes, nightmare walking? What is it?
I'm a nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king of my jungle. I'm a gangster stalking. The heaviest line in the record is, our color's death, though we all want peace, but this war won't end till all wars cease. And what I'm trying to say is that for people that have the attitude you could snap your fingers and end gangs, it's a joke. You can't snap your fingers down in South America. You can't snap your fingers in Northern Ireland. It's a war. Thousands of people have died in that gang situation, but the media hasn't shown it as a war. They show it as kids. And people have the idea that gangs can hit choreographed steps behind Michael Jackson and all kinds of other junk, which aren't true. Gangs kill each other. It's a war. And now there's drugs involved, and it's real serious, it's real sad. But they have soldier mentality. They're willing to go in there and die. And they're very deep into it.
Colors, 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 colors. I am a nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king of a jungle, just a gangster stalking, living life like a firecracker, quick as a fuse. Dead as in death, back the colors I choose, red or blue, cause of blood. It just don't matter, suckers die for your life with my shotgun scatter. The gangs of LA will never die, just multiply colors. And man, that is so true. The gangs of LA will never die. They've multiplied. You don't know me, fool. You disown me, cool. I don't need your assistance, social persistence, any problem I got. I just move my fist in. My life is violent, cause violent is life. Peace is a dream, reality is a night. My colors, my honor, my colors, my all. With my colors upon me, one soldier stands tall. Tell me, what have you left me? What have I got? Last night, cold blood, my young brother got, my homeboy got jacked. My mother's on crack. My sister can't work cause her arm shows tracks. I mean, come on, dog. I was 9 years old, listen, 8, 10 years old. Bumping Colors, knew nothing about the lifestyle. But I knew that when I watched that movie, that's what I see when I walk outside. I saw Crips all over the neighborhood. I grew up in East Long Beach. When I was at that time, I was in East Long Beach, and I was, this literally looks like what I remember. You don't know me, fool. You disown me, cool. I mean, that song was huge, ladies and gentlemen, and that song and that movie went hand in hand. That song and that movie went hand in hand. People were bumping that song. The beat is sick. Who did the Colors beat? I gotta look that up. Hold on. I gotta look that up. Who did the Colors beat? Let me see. Ice-T, Colors beat. Who did that mug? Who did the instrumental? Who sampled Ice? No. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, Jesus. Ice-T's Colors. Somebody help me out. Who made that beat? I need to know now. Colors. Album by Ice-T. Colors. Apple Music song. Man, they ain't showing me shit. All right, let's see. Never mind. All right, whatever. I'll look that up. Let me see. Hold on. Nope. Dope beat. People were bumping it in their Suzuki Samurais. Back when things in Los Angeles were at an all-time high. Oh, you think LA is crazy now? You think LA is bad now? Yo, it was rough in the 80s and 90s, especially around this time. And aside from a lot of the romanticization and the glamorization and things like that, I think Colors did a good job of portraying, for the most part, what was going on in that movie. Homie the Clown was in that movie. And by Homie the Clown, I mean Damon Wayans.
They rock's gonna pop it, and no one's gonna stop it. Look what I got to rock your nuts.
So many good actors. Such an interesting movie. And many would say Colors did more harm than good. What do you think? Comment down below.
Colors, starring Sean Penn and Robert Duvall as two Los Angeles cops up against murderous street gangs, gets high marks for realism, but authorities are worried. One deputy sheriff warns, if the movie is shown here, there will be dead bodies from one end of town to the other. The NAACP is asking that it be banned in Los Angeles.
What it will do is incite young gang members to kill policemen, incite young gang members like they're doing now to shoot people on the street.
The film uses 15 actual gang members as extras, one of them now awaiting trial for murder. Director Dennis Hopper disputes claims his film will incite more gang violence.
I don't see how it can incite any more gang violence is happening here. We had 13 people shot last weekend, and in one drive-by. This does not glorify gangs. If you want to go to jail, or if you want to die, if you find that glamorous, then this is the movie to go see.
Okay, so it looks like Africa Islam produced Colors. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Africa Islam. Yeah. He was a bad boy, man, for that one especially. He was a bad boy. That was a great song. Great song. But what do you think? Did Colors do more damage than good? So many gangs and sets and things like that got their start because someone popped in the movie Colors, a VHS, and a bunch of kids in a room said, we should do that here in Iowa. We should do that here in Kansas City. We should do that here in Texas. And it spread. Many would say it spread like cancer. It spread. How many lives were lost over the movie Colors?
One psychologist says, if anything, Colors will discourage youngsters from joining gangs.
The good guys win and the bad guys lose. Gang members aren't victorious. And people were saying, as a result of this film, youngsters may want to join gangs. I think as a result of this film, maybe a lot of youngsters might want to be cops.
Despite the controversy, the film is opening at 400 theaters nationwide, 70 in this city alone. But officials here say anyone wearing gang emblems, the colors referred to in the movie title, will not be admitted.
Great movie. I remember when it first came out, I was not allowed to see it. My mother, like every other parent at that time, was watching the news, and everything on the news was like, do not go to this. People are getting busted on. People are getting their caps peeled back. And there are people who just got released just within the past 5 years for taking someone's life at a screening of Colors.
One of my dudes, another true story. When Colors came out,
one of my roommates. I just bought this house where I'm at right now, and I lived in my old neighborhood. And one of my partners, he moved with me. He helped me move into the pad. He was also a roadie for the wrecking crew. We call him Fat Fat. Fat Fat's a good-hearted dude. Loved him some Lonzo. One of the best cats I've ever met. Dre knew him, and everybody knew him. He was our roadie. He would travel with us. But Fat Fat started dealing with, got into the gang life. And I told Fat Fat, hey, man, you're doing too much. You can't stay with me doing this right here. Fat Fat messed around there with the Stockton, and he got into a situation with one of them Stockton boys, and he killed him. Well, the lawyer that they hired for him, he had called me to testify. I drove all the way to Alameda County and stayed overnight to go to court to testify for my partner. And I looked up and they turned the lights off and they played goddamn colors in the movie, in the courtroom. I'm not bullshitting. They played colors in the movie, in the court. I'm like, what kind of shit is this? He got 25 to life. He just got out. They played colors at his trial. And I'm like, what in the fuck? And he was like, dude, the movie Colors was so off when it came to gangbanging. All they did was have some cats, some cops, and some gangbangers. They convinced the 12 white people that he killed this kid in retaliation from seeing colors. He just saw colors. He just come out the movie theater. The DA convinced 12 white people and a judge that he shot and killed this kid in retaliation for watching the movie Colors.
Alonzo Williams knows someone personal. He's a good friend of his. Ended up doing something like 30 years and they played that movie in the courtroom. They played Colors in the courtroom. So this thing now where they're convicting people for their lyrics, and oh my God, they shouldn't be convicting people. They've been doing this for decades, yo. And when Colors came out, they popped that in the courtroom, and every juror got to see that. And then they looked at homeboy and they said, guilty. Oh, that's what a Crip is? Guilty. Oh, that's what a Blood is? Guilty. Truth. But still one of my favorite movies. If it came on right now, I would sit down and watch it. No matter where it is, I would sit down and watch it. You know who I liked in that movie? That little Hispanic girl, Maria Conchita. Oh, she can get it in that movie. Look, when they have that scene when her and Sean Penn are, doing the thing. If you had the unedited version, you got the when they were doing it in the bed. I was like 10 years old, bro, on rock, just rock status, looking at that shit like, damn, Maria. Not to Sean now, motherfuckers. Don't be tripping on me, because they did have a boob shot in there, if I'm not mistaken. Just saying. What about me, Pac-Man? You love me, Pac-Man. Classic. But yes, that was Ice-T's contribution to Colors, and I think he made a great contribution to Colors. He made the ultimate contribution to Colors. That song is it.
It doesn't glorify gangs. It's not showing the gangs anything they don't do that they haven't already done. It's from the police's point of view, and it's about two cops. It's not about the gangs.
Now I'm just talking about my timeline when it comes to Ice-T. You're not going to get the full story when you listen to these shows. You're going to get my version of what I was doing at that time and how I came across certain artists. So when you tune in on Saturdays live, hopefully you do, Saturdays live at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard right here on DustyVisionTV, you are going to get my version of certain artists that I grew up listening to. And tonight we're talking about Ice-T. So after Colors, once again, I'm still checking for Ice-T. I want to like him. I want to like his music, but I'm not really feeling it. I'm keeping it 100. I'm not feeling his music. Like the pimp thing, I got it. I understood it, and I was just like, hustler. And I just never really cared for him. I understood. I knew he had good lyrics. Even looking back, I appreciate him more now. Don't let the 40-something-year-old me, dictate what I was thinking when I was 10, 11, 12. Like that was a different me. There was so much good music, and Ice-T was one that I would skip through. I would fast through. I never bought any of his CDs. Keeping it real, I've never bought an Ice-T CD in my life. So after Colors, you know, I'm seeing him doing his thing. He's going gold. He's going platinum. He is doing his thing, traveling all over the country. He's a big rap star. The time that I remember getting, I guess, reintroduced to Ice-T. Now, this was interesting because the last time I really cared about Ice-T was 4 years prior to this when Colors came out. But this was around 1992, around the time of the LA riots, when he came out with a song called Cop Killer. Now, this song, Cop Killer, was very controversial. Very controversial. Now, we heard F the Police, right? At that point, F the Police was what, 4 years old, maybe 4 or 5. My timeline may be off. I'm getting old, but, you know, F the Police is about 5 years old. Now, saying F the Police is one thing. That's big, right? Damn, you're saying F the Police? Y'all crazy. Damn, that's crazy, bro. F the Police. They're saying F the Police. People ate it up. Now imagine taking it a step further and saying you're a cop killer.
In the wake of the Rodney King verdict and the civil unrest in Los Angeles, some police officers across the country now say they're feeling threatened by the lyrics of a rap song.
How do you think America took that in 1992, ladies and gentlemen? Comment down below. Or do you know the story? Because if you don't, I'm going to tell you what I remember, because this is when I was deep into hip-hop and music, period. So we're talking 92. I was 14. One of my favorite times in hip-hop. I mean, this is when Outkast's first album came out. This is right around the time Biggie released his, right? 1992 was... 93, 94, by a lot of accounts, was some of the best music. Let me go back to 1990. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to type in 1992 hip-hop albums. And I'm just going to go down the line. I'm looking at the who's who of rappers. How can I forget about the Chronic? Chronic came out in 92. Bizarre Ride to the Far Side came out in 1992. Eric B. and Rakim came out in 1992. What, the album by Redman, came out in 1992. Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Come on now. Beastie Boys, Gangstar, Das Effect, Showbiz, AG, EPMD, Too Short, Diggable Planets, UGK, Lord Finesse, Fu-Schnickens, Lynch Mob, Arrested Development, DJ Quick. I can go on and on. This is all people who came out in 1992. Great year. I remember like it was yesterday. Great year. I think, me personally, 92 to 96, best years in hip-hop. Comment down below. What do you think was the best era in hip-hop? Let's go 4 or 5 years. You don't have to do decade and say 80s, 90s, 2000s. Give me a 3 or 4 or 5 year span. What do you think was the best years in hip-hop? Comment down below. I'm going 92 to 96. 92 is an interesting time in our country, ladies and gentlemen, which makes the song Cop Killer by Ice-T that much more powerful. Rodney King, Natasha Harlins, all of those things had just happened. Black folks were getting whizzed by the police. And then one day, a man named Rodney King gets pulled over in Simi Valley, California. And a bunch of cops think that they're all alone. It's just us and him. And they start whiz-za-za-za-za-za-zupping Rodney King. And what was going on? A man just so happened to have his VHS camcorder out recording at the same time. And he pans over to see those cops whiz-za-za-zupping Rodney King's ass. And I'm putting emphasis on it because if you've never seen the video, go look it up. They were whiz-za-za-zupping his ass. And what made that even more crazy is the whole world saw that. We all saw that, but somehow a judge and a jury decided that these men were not guilty. Oh boy, that powder keg. Oh, that was the last straw. I'm trying to think of the right mother effing analogy. That was the one that said, "Oh, now we're burning this booch down." LA riots. This was around that time. Everybody, after seeing that video of those cops doing that to Rodney King, the world, the ghetto, specifically South Central Los Angeles and many parts of LA, were highly upset. And we burned our community down. And sadly, here we are. What, 24 plus 8 is what, 30 years, 32 years later? A lot of those buildings never came back. A lot of those businesses shut down. A lot of those black businesses moved out. To this day, there are abandoned buildings in places where there used to be stuff, but no one ever did rebuild. It's just like, screw it. So that was an interesting time. Now imagine this song, Cop Killer, coming out.
As a self-proclaimed gangster rapper, Ice-T plays to raw emotion and outrageous themes. But today, a group of Texas police officers condemned one of his latest songs, Cop Killer, as an invitation to commit murder. The combined law enforcement associations of Texas today called for a halt to sales of the album, saying Ice-T may have freedom of expression, but recording company Warner Brothers has a social responsibility. They don't rule out a boycott of other Time Warner businesses, including the Six Flags amusement parks.
Send these people a message that this is not going to be acceptable for a company as large as Time Warner and Warner Brothers.
No one in law enforcement likes the message in Ice-T's lyrics, but at least one police group, a group of African-American officers, says the message varies depending on how you interpret the song.
If you take the words literally, you can make what you want to, but if you take the words internally, I think the message is saying that, hey, we have a problem. There's some bad police officers out here, some white, some black.
The song was written before the LA riots. Ice-T says it was a warning to abusive police officers of simmering tension in the black community.
Warner Brothers said, nope. Nah, we're ex-nay on the Cop Killer. We're going to go ahead and pull this. So they ended up pulling it. There are still some original copies out there. Someone has to have it. It is so rare, like, to have an original copy of that song. It was on shelves for 14 seconds. Like, it just wasn't happening. They took it down right away when they got that backlash. Once again, take yourself back to 1992. Now we say F12 all the time. F1 time. But in 1992, to say you were a copler, that was groundbreaking. And not only that, it was a heavy metal band. He did it with his heavy metal band. He didn't even do it as a rapper. He did it with his heavy metal band.
Until these cops realize that we're not just going to continually get our butts kicked in the street and we will retaliate, they're not going to act like human beings.
But will young rap fans see the song as encouragement to attack all cops?
I don't think it's reality. I think he's just trying to make money, man.
It's reality. It's going to make a bunch of people sue the police, though, for real.
And if Ice-T is simply trying to send a message, the police are at least hearing it.
I performed with Ice-T a few times. I opened for him back in the 90s when I was with my group. I'll let you go down that rabbit hole and y'all can figure that shit out if you want to. I'm not gonna give it up. I'm not gonna make it that easy, but I opened up for Ice-T on several occasions in Los Angeles. At that time, I didn't really understand. I'm amazed now in hindsight, but at that time, I didn't understand how important that song was and how groundbreaking that song was.
Find somebody who was from outer space, who never heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger, didn't know what he was doing, and you showed him the little clip of the movie where he killed up all the cops, right? And then you asked the person, you said, what do you think about this guy? They say, well, this is the most terrible person to walk the earth, right? But then that's what the media did to me this year. They took a 4-minute bite of my life, and they said, this is what this guy is about. And that's basically bullshit.
So go check that song out. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. Wonder if anyone gets paid for the streams. I'm sure Warner Brother. Yeah, I'm sure Warner Brother took it down the shelves, but I guarantee if you stream that mother effer right now, they're getting paid for it. So see, these companies are full of S.
In a major surprise, Warner Brothers Records announced on Thursday that it was parting ways with rap star Ice-T, both as a solo act and as the leader of the speed metal band Body Count, by what it said was a mutual agreement and because of unspecified creative differences. Ice-T's Body Count track Cop Killer enraged police forces across the country last year, and when Ice-T pulled the track off his Body Count album, he denied that he'd been coerced or paid off by Warner Brothers to do so. In ending its 7-year relationship with Ice-T, Warner's returned to him the tapes for his upcoming album Home Invasion, which begins with a barrage of profanities and demeaning terms for women. Ice-T was unavailable for comment on his split from Warner's, nor is there any word yet on which label he'll be recording for next. In a corporate statement announcing the separation, Warner Brothers said, quote, "We wish Ice-T the best."
So still, once again, not really bumping any Ice-T songs. I can't think of a Ice-T song at that time that I was playing. You know, and more so because Ice-T kind of fell back on the rapping and he started focusing more on his acting career, where he just rebranded himself completely. Amazing. A couple good movies that he had. But I think my favorite and the one that really showed off his chops and that he was okay, he could be a force to be reckoned with in the acting world was New Jack City. Wesley. As the rogue cop, crazy cop that they bring in to go hunt down Nino Brown, right? Obviously, I recognized Ice-T. They was pumping it up the whole time. I was like, okay, cool. I got to go check this guy out. I'm pretty sure he's the reason why I went to see that movie. One of my favorite movies, by the way. New Jack City is a classic. I mean, Chris Rock's in that movie, right? Such a classic. And he just decided to take other roles. He was in that movie with Ice Cube as well. Trespass. It just came to me. Wasn't as well received as New Jack City, and many people are not going to have Trespass on their top 10 movies of all time, but I will tell you this, New Jack City is in my top 10 for sure. I know every reference. I know probably every line. You know, I know every pop culture reference. I know everything about that movie. It's a classic. Wesley Snipes destroyed it. He did a great job as Nino Brown. Apparently, that movie was based on a true story where dealers decided to take over a whole housing project and made the tenants basically like their slaves and their workers, and it was like the tenants were in prison. This is a whole true story. So when you get a chance, maybe go to YouTube and check that out. The true story behind New Jack City. Rockabye, baby. Oh, girl in that movie that was dancing for Wesley Snipes, though. I just got a glimpse of her. The one in the red with the short hair. She was fire. Oh, my goodness, was she fire. You guys know who I'm talking about. I don't even have to explain who I'm talking about. All I have to say is red lingerie. They were playing Sex Me Up in the back. I wanna sex you up all night. I wanna make it all be. I wanna sex you up. Classic, right? Classic. Yeah, and then Ice-T, went on to be one of the longest running cast members in, is it CSI Miami or something like that? Help me out. CSI, I don't know. Something like that. But he's killing it in the acting world. I don't watch any of his acting roles. Is it NWS? Oh, he was in New York Undercover too. That's right. I'm actually looking at his biography. Right, Law and Order. There we go. Law and Order, SVU. They give dude 3 lines an episode, but pay him $800,000 a year. I'll take that job. I'll take it. Man, dude. Shout out to Ice-T and his acting. I hope he's able to do that till the day he dies, because he's good. He's Ice-T in every single movie and show, but it's like, it's still good that he's doing his thing. But yeah, Ice-T, man, he was also involved in the We're All in the Same Gang project. He was one of the big people who pushed that helped Michael Concepcion start it. And he had a dope verse in that. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's see. Same gang, Ice-T verse. Let's see. We're all in the same gang. Bump, 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 bump. Last but not least, yo, Easy's no sellout. That's Easy. You guys remember that, right? We're all in the same gang. That was a classic. That was the West Coast Rap All-Stars. They came together and they did their thing in helping, you know, the ongoing gang problem, hopefully bringing peace to it. But let's see. Ice-T, rip at the microphone the way I do. Listen close, my brothers, because I'm talking to you. The problem is we got a suicidal lifestyle, because 90% of us are living foul and wild. I say job, you say bad joke. I'd rather jack another brother, watch the gun smoke. Living in the fast lane, flipping like you're insane. You won't stop until you was down the street drain. I got an idea. Give me a minute. And if it makes sense, then get with it. What if we could take an enemy's feed them poison? Undereducate the girls and boys and split them up, make them kill for better yet, make them kill for a color. Oh, I gotta take that back. Split them up, make them fight one another. Better yet, make them kill for a color. All my brothers need to know one thing. No matter what you think, we're all in the same game. Such an important project. The East Coast had self-destruction. And we're all in the same gang. Classic song. And Ice-T was a big part of that project. But shout out to Ice-T, man. So many memorable moments in my life. Once again, I wasn't a big fan of his albums or anything. I'm just keeping it real. But I can't take away the groundbreaking things that he's done in this genre called hip-hop that we love so much, in this culture that we call hip-hop. I'm not going to call him just a gangster rapper. He is just as important a part of hip-hop as Grandmaster Flash is. He is just as important a part of hip-hop as Melly Mel is. He is just as important part of hip-hop as Name Your East Coast Originator. Ice-T is our legend. We got to show him love while he's here, and keep doing your thing, Ice-T. I do appreciate the good times that you've given us with the music, you know, more so than others, but Colors was dope to me, and I like 6 in the Morning, and I just appreciate your movies, man. Keep doing your thing, dog. Keep doing your thing. And please, please, please make sure you continue to support my channel, DustyVisionTV. And if you like what you hear on this particular show, I do this show where I talk about hip-hop once a week, every Saturday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do it late night. We get our drinks. We sip. We puff if we want to. If not, come and chill. That doesn't mean just because you don't partake in all that, you can't come hang out. Come and hang out with us. Bring your water. You know what I'm saying? Bring your cat. Put them on your lap. Kick up your feet. And just enjoy the vibe of this every single Saturday live, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time if you want to check it out live. If not, you can always listen to it on the playback. I also have a second channel right here on YouTube called Dusty Vision Radio. So I'm going to ask you guys right now to go to Dusty Vision Radio and hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate each and every one of you for following my second channel. I'm at about 2,500 subscribers on that, so I'm really trying to blow that one up as well. And not only that, thank you real quick, because we're at 40,000 subscribers. We're literally like knocking on 40,000. We're like 30 away from it or something like that. Thank you for the hard work. This is all organic subscribers. There's no pain of anything. This is all love. This is just years of hard work. And my channel ain't got I ain't in the hundreds of thousands or the millions, but you know what? I'm proud of the 40,000 people that I have right here on Dusty Vision TV. So thank you guys so much. Before I go, if you're on Instagram, I'm on Dusty Vision Radio on Instagram, and I'm also on Rumble. I know this is a lot of information, but it's at the end of the show, damn it. So if you want to stop now, you can stop. But my true supporters and people, I want to ask you, go to the Rumble app, RUMBLE, the Rumble app, and subscribe to Dusty Vision TV. That's all one word, Dusty Vision TV on Rumble. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.